Welcome to Howard's Opinion, the only podcast where you get a healthy dose of sports news, analysis, and straight-up opinion. I'm your host, Howard, and we're glad you're joining us today. As we dive into the world of youth sports, I have to ask, are travel teams worth it? We've all seen the families who dedicate their weekends, their wallets, and their sanity to shuttling their kids from tournament to tournament. But what's the real cost? Is it just about the love of the game? Or is there something more at play? I recently came across a story that got me thinking. It seems that some teams are requiring families to stay at specific hotels, with no flexibility, and taking a cut of the revenue. That's right, folks. It's not just about the sport. It's about making a profit. And let me tell you, it's a lucrative business. But what about the kids? Are they really getting the experience they deserve? Or are they just pawns in a game of money and politics? I mean, think about it. Tens of thousands of dollars spent on travel, equipment, and coaching, all for what? So your kid can play in front of college scouts and maybe, just maybe, get a scholarship? And don't even get me started on the coaches who have chummy relationships with certain parents. It's like they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you're not part of the inner circle, well, good luck getting your kid the playing time they deserve. Now, I'm not saying that all travel teams are bad news. There are plenty of great programs out there that truly care about developing young athletes and teaching them valuable life skills. But we need to be aware of the pitfalls, folks. We need to ask ourselves, is it worth it? As one coach put it, regardless of where a boy or girl plays, that should be a great experience. And I couldn't agree more. So, let's take a closer look at the world of youth sports and explore what's really going on. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into the world of sports. I've got a great story to share with you all, and it's coming out of the Wyndham Championship. Cameron Young is making waves, folks, and he's not just talking about his impressive lead in the tournament. This young golfer is picturing himself on the U.S. Ryder Cup team, and we can't blame him for feeling confident. As we take a look at the leaderboard, Young is sitting pretty with a 5-stroke lead going into the final round. That's right, folks. He's got a commanding lead, and it's going to take a lot for his competitors to catch up. But what's even more interesting is that Young is using this momentum to make a case for himself to be on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Howard, isn't it a bit premature to be talking about the Ryder Cup? And to that I say, why not? If Young can keep up this level of play, he's definitely going to be in the conversation. And let's be real, the Ryder Cup is one of the most prestigious events in golf. So it's natural for these players to have their sights set on. But here's the thing. Young isn't just talking about his own game. He's also talking about how his success at the Wyndham Championship could be a catalyst for his Ryder Cup hopes. He's saying that if he can keep playing at this level, he's got a real shot at making the team. And I've got to say, folks, it's hard not to get excited about that. The FedEx Cup race is also heating up. And with only one regular season event left, things are getting intense. We've got players like Adam Scott and Max Homa who are on the bubble, trying to make a last-ditch effort to secure their spot in the playoffs. It's going to be a wild ride, folks, so stay tuned for all the updates. And speaking of updates, we've also got some news from the Xfinity Series, where Sam Mayer collected his first victory of the season. That's right, folks, Mayer is on top of the world. And we couldn't be happier for him. But I digress. Back to Cameron Young and his quest for Ryder Cup glory. We'll be keeping a close eye on this story as it develops, and we can't wait to see how it all plays out. Will Young be able to keep up his impressive play and make a case for himself to be on the U.S. Ryder Cup team? Only time will tell. Stay tuned for our final story of the day right here on Howard's Opinion. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep your head in the game.